Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. So, we are going to continue our discussion in a separate video in system and functional grammar. I need to build your understanding first. Okay, once something that I'm going to say is that language varies. The words that you are saying is going to be like varies depending on the context of situations. When you learn about the context situation, we are going to learn within the parameters of register. Okay, and then when we talk about register, we are going to discuss about three main parameters: field, tenor, and mode. Okay, when we try to discuss field, it means that it deals with the subject matters of a text. For example, we are going to discuss about mountaineering or gathering, chrome music, car maintenance, and so forth. Okay, so how to identify that? For example, okay, um, what we are going to do is that we are going to have text. So, fill of the discourse seek to identify the participants or things involved in the actions or event taking place, and in any surrounding circumstances such as time, location, manner, and purpose. So, for example, I have a text. I just assume that this is a spoken text. For example, like whip the cream until it thicks. Can you predict the field of it? Good. The field of it is going to be like food preparations. Okay? It's going to be like, okay, or cooking a food, for example. It's okay. Okay? Um, and it involves processing. How do I know? Whip. Whip is vocabulary. It is a verb, and then it is processing. And then whip what? Oh, whip of a food, a cream. Okay? And then you are going to identify a period of time until it takes. So when we try to describe a period of time, it's not only about like time specifically like at at 10, at 9, at noon, in the evening, in the morning. No, but for example, in this case, we may, for example, cooking, and then one of the characteristic of period of cooking until it takes. For example, you have to whip it with cream, or for example, if you are making the current viral on Instagram dalgona, so you are going to whip your latte until it thick, okay? And then after you understand the field of it, you are going to identify the tenor of the discourse. Tenor means the social status. Social status, role of the various participants, and the relationship between them in the situation. So, for example, the same person may be a manager giving advice to an employee or someone seeking for approval, a patient describing his or her symptoms to a doctor will be different. Or talking about the whipped cream previous field, okay. So it means that you are going to see that it is from someone know how to make, for example, dalgona, famous or viral drink, viral beverage to someone who don't know how to make it. Okay, so it means that there is instruction over there. Okay, it is similar, for example, with manager advising an employee. So chef or home cook advising those who cannot cook but wants to make dalgona. Okay, am I correct? Dalgona, dalgona. Check it by yourself. Okay, and then so it means that tenor has connection with interpersonal. We are going interpersonal has been mentioned, so it means that social relationship, but later how to analyze interpersonal we are going to discuss into in the next video. And then for example, the tenor we are going to identify from the purpose of the discourse or its speech function. For example, we have could we stop for a minute please? It's going to be like request. Okay, or for example, whip the cream. It means that it's going to be not a request, but it's going to be like um, it's going to be declarative sentence, right? Or like that. So it depends on the functions, the tenor. We are going to see the tenor from the speech function. You have to remember, you are going to see the tenor from the speech functions. Okay? And then mode of the discourse. It's constant with the language medium through which the text is expressed, written or spoken. Or you have to identify with the cream. For this context, probably it's going to be like spoken as well as the written because in the procedure text we are going to start with verb instead of sentence or instead of like noun phrase or subject in this case, right? So I hope you understand that language context is really important, and then you are going to see the difference between field, tenor, and mode. Field is identified from the structure, the sentence, and tenor identified from the speech function, and mode is identified by, for example, the medium, whether it is spoken and written. Okay, I think that's all for the context of situation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.